start the video.
We focused.
We hand one?
Hey, focus.
We focused. Mic's on?
Yeah.
Mic check. Alright, we're good.
Relax.
Okay. Oh, that's your job. Don't get.
Alright, what's going on, Faded Culture? It's Sergio Barron, and we're back again with another tutorial. Today, I'm gonna run y'all down my step-by-step process on doing a mid skin drop fade with an 8 guard on top. I will be using the cordless WAHL Seniors this time. If y'all didn't check out my last video, I used the cordless Andis Masters. Feel free to check out that video on our page. Today, I will be using the WAHL Seniors, and let's see how this goes. Let's jump right into this tutorial. Okay guys, so to start this tutorial, I'm going to start by running a number 8 guard to even out the top length of his hair. Be sure you're running the clipper against the hair growth pattern, just to ensure your clipper really grabs onto the hair and cuts it nice. And just run the clipper multiple times, just so that you ensure you get as much of an even cut possible all over the top. And next I'm going to grab my clipper with no guard, lever closed, to set down my first guideline. And since it is a mid drop fade, I'm gonna start right here at the temple peak area, and I'll make sure this line slants as I reach the back side of his head. And then I'll pick it back up, making sure it meets at the same spot that I started on the opposite side. And yeah, just ensure this first line is as clean as possible, since the rest of our guidelines will be set according to this first one. So next I will open the lever on the clipper, and I'm gonna set down my second guideline, coming up about a finger or a ½ inch in length up high. And I'm gonna make sure this next guideline flows parallel to the prior guideline as even as possible. Also guys, just a quick reminder, all these steps I will leave down for y'all in the description, so y'all can also follow along in written format. So next I'm gonna grab the 1 guard, still with that lever open, and I'm gonna set down our third guideline, coming up about another finger in length up high. And the exact same thing as we did prior, making sure this next guideline runs parallel to the prior guidelines. Be sure you take your time when you're setting down your guidelines. The cleaner you set down these guidelines, the more on track you'll be able to stay with the whole fading process. And also, as you're setting in your guidelines, just be sure you keep a small brush. That way you're brushing away any loose hair that you're cutting throughout the whole process. That way you just maintain a clean workspace. So now that we're done with that, we're going to grab the number 2 guard, still with that lever open, except now we're not so much focused on setting in a guideline. We're just going to kind of try to blend in the side length to the top. So as you see here, I'm kind of emphasizing more on that scoop out motion, so that I'm not digging into the top length of his head. And then once you're done with that, you see here we're left with our 3 guidelines that need blending. We'll start by taking out the uppermost guideline first. And for this, I'm gonna grab the 1.5 clip, and I'm gonna close the lever a tad bit down to the 3/4 position. And you'll notice that I'm using more so the sides of the clipper to blend out this guideline. This is when you kind of hear us say using the corners of the clipper, as this method just kind of helps you get into a more detailed or helps you work in a more detailed manner when it comes down to blending out these guidelines. Some guidelines are usually more difficult than others to erase, but just take your time when you're blending them out, and just with the repetitive process, just work at it until you blend them out. And also, if you feel like you need to open or close the lever a tad bit here and there to ensure that line gets blended out, then do so by all means. For me, that lever open to that 3/4 position seems to always be a good starting point to start taking out these guidelines. So next I'm gonna move forward to blending out this middle guideline, and for that I'm gonna leave that lever still in that 3/4 position, but I'm gonna slap on that half clip and start working at it. And you'll notice that again, I'm using more so the corners of the clippers to help ensure I blend out this guideline as smooth as possible. Also guys, quickly, this guard won't completely take out this middle guideline, but don't worry, still don't try to chase that guideline higher and higher, as you will take the fade up too high. Just focus on blending out the initial start of this guideline, and right now we'll come back in with that one guard and finish blending it out. So as you see, we're still here left with a little dark ridge above. So for that, I'm gonna throw on the one guard, and I'm gonna keep that lever on that 3/4 position, and just focus on blending it out completely. And just so y'all know guys, I do zero gap all of my clippers so that they cut as sharp as possible. And on this cordless WAHL Seniors, I did change out the blade from a fade blade into a taper blade. I've been just leaning more into these taper blades since I feel they leave softer guidelines. But the fade blades that they do come with do cut really sharp and nice as well. So feel free to try both. That way you kind of determine what blades you're more comfortable with fading. So as you see here, this one guard helped us take out that middle guideline completely. Now we're just left with this last guideline to blend out. First I'll start with the lever closed, then I open it halfway and then all the way, gradually opening up the lever as I move up into that line. So you see here, I start with the lever closed and blend out as much as possible of that initial start of the guideline. And I'll focus more so on one side of his head for this last step, since it does take 3 different positions to take out this guideline. So then next I open the lever halfway like I said, and I'll continue blending up a tad bit higher. And as you see here, that blend is finally starting to come together for us. And last, I'm gonna just open that lever all the way and just finish blending out that initial guideline completely. And that's pretty much it for that guideline. Next, we're gonna repeat the exact same steps on the back side and the left side of his head. Again guys, like I said, starting with that lever closed, taking out as much of that initial start of that guideline at first. Then here I open it halfway, continue blending up a little bit higher, and then open it all the way just to finish tying in that blend. And also guys, if y'all do feel like our videos help y'all and y'all enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and be sure y'all are subscribed to the channel, as that engagement does help the channel grow, and also it just kind of encourages us to come out with more content for y'all. And again guys, to take out this last guideline, all it took was the lever closed, and then I opened it halfway and then all the way, gradually opening the lever as I moved up into that guideline. And next we're just focused on taking out the bottom hair. And for this I'm gonna come in with my trimmers upside down, since this position does tend to bald out the hair more. And then I'm gonna just quickly turn that trimmer right back over in the upright position, and then just blend out that little faint line that it left right above. And the reason that we came with it first upside down and left a balder guideline is so that when we come in and take out the rest of the bottom hair, it's not gonna be as bald, And it's gonna basically just leave a little faint line, and that will serve as a guideline as to tell us how high to come up with our electric shavers, making sure that we don't bring up or bald up too high into the blend, creating any like harsh lines that just need more blending all over again. And next we'll just move forward with taking out the remainder bottom of his hair. And as you see here, you'll be able to see a little faint line left behind, and that's that guideline I was talking about that's gonna tell us where to stop with our electric shaver. And next we're coming in with that electric shaver, and the same thing, using them as they were a pair of clippers. As I reach that faint line that we left behind, I'm just gonna pull out with the clipper so that we don't dig into the blend. And just to quickly remind y'all guys, we do leave all the links down in the description for y'all to all the tools that we use and products as well and everything, so feel free to check them out. And also guys, if you still feel like there was a little faint line left behind, feel free to come back with your trimmers and just blend it right out. So moving forward to his facial hair, I'm gonna trim everything with a number 3 guard. And like same in the fade, I'm gonna use my 3 guideline technique, setting down 3 guidelines and then coming back and blending them out. First I will set this first one with the lever open, and then I will grab the number 1 guard, still lever open, come down a little bit and set down the second guideline. And since we use the 3 at the bottom, I won't need to come in and set another one, but I'll start with blending out that bottom guideline first with the 1.5 clip open to that 3/4 position. And then I'll grab the half clip, still in that 3/4 position, blend out the middle guideline. And then we'll use the 3 steps to blend out this last guideline. Lever closed, lever halfway, and then lever open all the way. And once we're done with that blend, we'll proceed with lining up everything before we come in with our straight razor. When I line up his edge up in the front forehead area, I like to use this pump it up spritz. I will throw in a couple pumps and then I'll blow dry it down, as this does freeze everything into place before I come in with my trimmers and set in my box up front. It's a good idea to take a step back and kind of visualize the hairline box already in his head before actually setting it in. And then once you kind of determine where you want the box, then you lean forward and start setting in the lineup, starting from the middle, work your way off to the sides, creating those 90-degree boxes on each sides of the head. I'm also gonna throw in this little part on the top. This is all preference. This is just to kind of offset his hairline in the front. Then I'll move down onto his mustache and facial hair. For his mustache, I'll just trim away anything that hangs over his lip, and then I'll start kind of briefly lining up everything just to kind of guide me as to where I will be lining up everything with a straight razor. Whenever I'm lining up the bottom of his neck, I like to always recline the seat back and put him on the headrest, just so I get a better view of the bottom, and then just determine where or how high your client wants the lineup to be, and then just proceed with taking out that hair. Then I'm gonna come in with the electric shavers just to shave out the bottom of his neck. Then before coming in with the straight razor, I'm gonna apply my shaving gel, and then I'll determine where I want my lineup to be. So to help guide you better, I'll first choose where I want the sideburn lineup to be, and then I'll move forward to where I want the lip area to be, and then I'll just proceed with connecting those two lines, and just to make sure I stay on track. And once you're done refining that lineup, I will turn the blade upside down and shave the rest of the hair above, coming against the grain. That way we get a closer shave to the skin. The lip area can be a sensitive area to most people, so make sure you add extra lubrication and just have them tug their skin down or their lip down as much as possible to help let you in that little awkward area. Then when I'm lining up the forehead area, I like to shave everything down first, taking out most of the hair, and then I'll start shaving against the lineup itself just to refine the edges as sharp as possible. And after that, we'll just come in and add a little bit of enhancements. The enhancements are always optional, guys, so just be sure you and the client are okay with doing them. And then after that, I'll come back one more time to refine all the edges. Then to top it off, I will apply a matte pomade on top just to help the haircut pop and help bring out his desired style. But that's pretty much it, guys, for this tutorial. Here's a quick before of the haircut, and here's the after. I hope y'all guys enjoyed this tutorial and were able to learn something from it on this mid skin fade with the 8 guard on top using my WAHL cordless seniors. Guys, if y'all like this tutorial, please again give us a thumbs up, leave me any feedback down in the comment section, and make sure y'all are subscribed. Again, guys, thank y'all for watching. My name is Sergio Barron, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.